What's up guys, Scotty here from the Blue Coconut family and welcome back to a City Skylines tutorial. This is more of a how-to guide and things like that and kind of learning as we do. So a common problem in City Skylines is traffic, and that's partly down to we blame that the traffic is stupid. It doesn't follow common kind of logic that we would think of in the real world, but it's also partly down to that very few of us who actually play this understand how traffic flow actually works. So we can't really blame the AI being stupid when we're the ones who aren't building the correct type of roads. So I thought I'll address something today. In front of you, you can even see a really badly designed junction. And this is a really badly designed junction, as you can see, because I've got a long queue of traffic going out to the left hand side. So this is just a test scenario I've built where I've got two sides of a community. I've got a large city which is growing, and I could please ignore that I've got loads of errors. This is purely down to create traffic wanting to flow in all four directions. Okay, so on one side I've got industrial over here, and then I've got residential and commercial over here, just to help create some flow around this junction. You can already see it's working quite nicely. And if we go into the traffic view, you can see, yeah, we've got some pretty bad traffic at the moment. Up and down isn't too bad, but you can see that it would quickly get just as bad as these if it needed to. We can see average traffic flow is 61%. That's not great. That's not good. So basically, the job for today is we're going to try and fix this. So the first step, what you'd probably do to fix this is let's build a roundabout. So what we would do is start building a roundabout. Let's pause the simulation for now. We'll dig back some of these, just like so. Yeah, that's probably about right. And then I do have a roundabout building tool, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to build the ones which are built in. So we've got a couple in here. We've got the small roundabout and we've got the large roundabout. Now both those are pretty much the same except for the roads are slightly different. So for benefit, because this is a highway junction, I'm going to use the large roundabout. And we can see the building there. Now I'll explain how this is built just in case you want to build one yourself. Now this is using the highway road, the 3-lane highway road, which is this one, which of course is only a one-way road. That's why we've got the arrows in a direction. We can already see that in this world I set it to be American rather than British, because you're going the wrong way round the roundabout. You're going to the right, but that's fine. That's just how it is in this game. Yeah, that's just one of those things. Nothing to worry about. And we can see that they travel round the roundabout in the normal direction, and when they get to their point, they can then come on or off the roundabout, and so on and so forth. So we can then now. What I normally tend to do with these pre-built ones is I delete the pre-built road, so it just leaves us the central ring, which is all going in one direction using that one-way system, which they literally just use this, and then like this. That's basically what they do. There you go. Nice big roundabout. That's it. Roundabouts are really simple to make. The bit that makes roundabouts hard is getting them to work. That might sound really bizarre, but it's deadly true. So what we're going to do is we're going to have coming into this roundabout. This obviously is the in. Now we're going to have this curve going this way, just like so. And we're going to have this one curve, if we can get it to actually function. There you go. Just so that then they're not right next to each other, so we're not going to clog up the motorway or the highway with traffic. Just like so. Okay, so we can see there we kind of got the situation with roundabouts. You've got the eye which goes through, so it means that traffic coming in here can literally just come straight onto the motorway, which is still technically still highway. all the way around here and then just exit without having to stop, unless there's traffic coming around the centre of the roundabout, which is the main function of a roundabout. Is it basically allows you to continue flow unless obstructed. So that's pretty much the golden rule of motorways. Now what we're going to do is just connect up the side roads here. If it will do it in a sensible manner. Oh, there you go. Okay, so we can see there we've now got this roundabout. Now let's see how this functions. So once the traffic sort of cleared itself up, we can see, okay, so that's good. So we the general kind of traffic is now flowing round. So traffic that wants to come off is definitely flowing, and I feel that that kind of junction on the far side is definitely flowing a little bit better. Let's check the traffic map. So we can see there we have gained about 10% actually. There we go. So it's definitely increasing a little bit more. So we could probably say easily, once that probably settles down, around about 15% of increase in flow of traffic. So that's pretty good. But I think we can do better. Absolutely do better than that. So let's keep the roundabout. Pause simulation again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this back even further. Just like so. I'm going to have a flyover using these. I'm going to just increase the elevation step. So it'll be 4 meters. Is that going to be enough to go over? Yes, it is. Perfect. Just like so. Just going to match this up. I think that's for the same sort of height. Yes, it is. Be days. Ground. Okay, so it's you can see there we've got a flyover of the motorway in the middle. Now it's not perfectly even, but if you're doing this in game, you were doing a super detailed one, then I can imagine that then that'd be something quite important to you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have this highway ramp, and this is going to be literally how it is. Now I'm going to use a little bit of anarchy in here just to get some toggle. So I'm going to turn off snapping. Yep. Just like so. So we can see there we're building kind of like a ramp that you would see on a typical motorway. Just going to have that. Just trying to tuck itself in here. Now I've said I've used road anarchy. I haven't actually enabled road anarchy in here. It's a good mod. Go download it from the Play Store, not Play Store, wrong thing. The Steam Workshop. I'm completely thinking the wrong thing there. And it's really helpful if you're building these kind of roads, and you can trim them up later to make them look even nicer and a little bit more kind of professional and a little bit more detailed. But in theory, all I'm doing here, the only thing I did turn off there is snapping. Snapping is quite an annoying thing of where you basically goes, oh, I want to go there. Like we saw earlier when this road was causing a stupid arc. If I turned off snapping, it would be on, I would have been able to draw it straight without it snapping to a corner. So it's just basically where it automatically goes to help guide you, which is okay, I suppose, but can be quite annoying. So that's one side done. Now let's do the other. Now I could enable road anarchy even more, because it has quite a cool feature in it that allows you to basically bind roads together. So basically you can have them kind of touch and overlap a little bit, which is really nice and helpful. But for this demonstration, I'm not going to, just because it's a bit of a cheat in my eyes. That's fine. Right, okay, so that's pretty much my roundabout. Now we can still see the sort of roundabout eye shape there. We've got the central roundabout, which is now serving purely and only the kind of industrial bit and the commercial zone, the residential zone, those bits. So that is purely just going to be serving those. And then we have then on a secondary layer, you have got the flyover of the main highway. So what this basically has benefit over the last roundabout on is any traffic that is purely just staying on the highway, it is not impeded at all by the junction. So it means it can continue on the motorway or the highway and just continue travelling without being impeded by the junction, which you'll just fly over the top. I'm sure many of you guys know at home, if you have travelled on highways and motorways, then you're aware of these sort of junctions. You know, they are pretty much most common kind of junctions there are. You know, it's really rare that on a major road you stop at a roundabout. It does happen, but it's quite rare. But you know how much of a significant thing those are when you do have to stop at those roundabouts. On mainly I can think of in the UK, we have A roads. They can have roundabouts in the middle of them, and it does cause quite a few issues. So that's a big benefit of that. Let's check out the flow of the traffic. So we can see there instantly what I'm talking about of. There is all the traffic going over that central flyover and is currently not being impeded at all by the traffic which is turning off and going onto the junction. So that is already there, quite a decent junction improvement. Okay, so we can see that this roundabout is working really nicely and the flow is definitely improving, but we are getting quite a bit of build up of traffic going on the north-south, which is this one. So we can see here, yeah, we're now up to 75-ish% of flow, which is pretty good. That's not too bad at all, that. I would be happy with that as a mayor, because you can see it is progressing. Now, I do have traffic in the cities. Please ignore that. This is purely just for this one here. So we are slowly increasing that, but I feel like we could get even better. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a double flyover. So we're going to pause the simulation, as always. Dig up the road, bring up my tool, and we want this one. And we're going to go to this point, which is the central bit. I want to have a no snapping back on. Is that tall enough? No. Needs to be a little bit taller. Okay, that seems to be tall enough then, okay. I don't know why it's trying to do a bridge. I don't want it to do a bridge. But, hey ho, if it's doing a bridge, fine. Okay, for some reason it's stuck saying it wants to do a bridge. Oh, bring it back up. There you go. So what we can see there is now we've got a second flyover going over the top, which will now service as a perfect kind of flow traffic for the north-south there. And now we just need to bring it down to that roundabout in the middle. So we do that exact same way. We're going to use the highway ramp. Now it probably sounds quite weird that we've got to have to use the highway ramp when it's not a highway, but that's okay. I'm just going to cut it in a little bit more and then just cut it like that. And then on this side, just going to come out. Might just have to have it duck out a little bit further. Sometimes it likes to come out from a distance, just like that, so it cuts in rather than like flows in, if that makes sense. It doesn't like to merge, this game, it likes to cut. Sounds really weird, but I didn't design the game. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. So we can see now we've got, it looks a little bit strange, but we've now got some motion things. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the move it tool, which you can get in the in the workshop. There's a really nice little kind of helping hand just to help me move some of these nodes, just to smooth up those intersections. Now it's going to look really weird for you guys as this, but if you had time you would then go through and paint a lot of these. Oh. There we go, just like so. Ooh, I'm just going to bring that node in. So what I'm doing is using the move it tool just to move the nodes that I placed down earlier, because from where the game doesn't like me placing these down, it now will, because it's part of the mod. It allows me to move individual nodes and spines, and it's a really nice way of just altering roads after you place them down, just like so there. So we can see there that's now looks a little bit nicer, hugs that sort of kind of intersection over there, the flyover. We're just going to do the same thing for here. Have that just tuck in there, and then just these little nodes, have them hug the side there, as you would imagine, and then the last one just have it come in. Now junctions can be a little bit weird like that, they tend to glitch out a little bit, but they often, if you've got a bit of symmetry like that, they do tend to fix themselves a little bit. So I wouldn't worry about them too much. And all I'm going to do is just to curve out. There you go. And you just want to play with it until you find one what just works for you. Just like that. So this has gone from being a non-functional junction to a functional junction that looks horrible, now to a functional junction that looks pretty right, and I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah, I'm going to touch those. Right, so let's see how this now functions. So let's restart the simulation. So what we're looking for here is traffic which will be flowing up and over the top bits, and yeah, not being stopped by any of the other bits. Now we can see there that the traffic is flowing a little bit better. Now it is stopping at points there, so I could probably we could probably make this junction a little bit better one step further. So we can see there it's flowing nicely, but we are having a couple of issues where sometimes we are getting a car turning in the wrong direction or trying to come across like that, and I don't quite, yeah, we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that up, but first let's have a quick look at the flow diagram. So we're already up at the 70 odd mark, so the high 70s. It is dropping slightly, and that's purely down to this here, and that is only because they're stopping at traffic light. Now the traffic lights we can fix really nice and easily. So this is requiring another mod. This is using Traffic Manager President's Edition. So we can see here that we've got the TMPE menu, and we can see we've got a couple of options in here. So there are going to be a couple of options we can be using here. First of all, we want to get rid of the traffic lights, so which is this one, the manual traffic lights. We're just going to click. Oh no, this is manual one. Sorry, my bad. We want this one, the switch traffic lights, which is simply to turn them off. Okay, so we can see there already the flow has increased massively. And we're going to come across to the other side to do the same thing. Now the next thing we're going to do is we can now see that the next issue we're having is here. We are getting a lot of pedestrians, and all that's doing is as the car's trying to turn, they are stopping. So we want to stop that. So we want to just do some vehicle parking restrictions. We want to change the type of where the zebra crossing is. Where is it? There we go. Ooh. There we go. So we can say that there are no crossings across that. And we're going to remove the crossing there, remove the crossing here. So what that's done is that has removed all the crossing points for pedestrians. And we're going to come down to this one now. We're going to say no crossing, no crossing, no crossing, no crossing. No crossing. What did I enable it? Swapping roads. No, we don't want that. So we go there. So that has now resolved the pedestrian issue. We can now see that we have got free flowing traffic happening across this junction. Now, for the last issue that we had was where we got some cars kind of coming in and they're crossing the wrong way. So what we can do here is using this one we can use the change lane arrows. So you can see here that technically from this lane cars could turn left. Now we don't want them to turn left, so what we're going to do is say nope, not allowed to turn left. And here we're going to say no, we can't turn left onto there either. So that's all good. That's exactly what we want. That one we're going to say yep, that's good. That's good. Okay, let's come to the other side and just double make sure this one is exactly the same. We're going to say that's purely that way only. Yep. It's weird, but that's on that side, but that's fine. There you go. That seems to be flowing a little bit better. So we can see there, guys, that I feel that this is probably one of the best junctions we could have done for this section of road. We can see that the traffic is flowing in each direction really smoothly. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm happy with that junction. I don't think there's any more we could do to this to make it flow even better. Let's have a quick look at the flow chart. We can see 82%. Now, most of the other issues we're going to be having is the part of the city where I haven't actually done any work on. It's saying that the junction is pretty hard. So you could increase that by making this a double road or something like that. But at this point, I feel I don't really need to. But yeah, please comment below. Do you think this is the best junction we could have had? If you can think of any other what you would have put here, please put them in the comment section below. I'd love to see what your suggestions are. Absolutely. And yeah, give this video a like if it's helped you out, if it's given you some ideas on creating better junctions inside your games. Also, big thumbs up for all you drivers out there. Next time you go over a highway junction, just have a think. Is this the best junction they put there? Why does it work? Why doesn't it work? What could they have done to improve it? Or maybe what did they do to improve it? Yeah, have a think. And yeah, with that being said, make sure you're subscribed. Only about 1% of you would actually subscribe to our channel. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Might as well hit that button. Only takes a second to do, and you get notified on all my other videos I release. It really helps out small channels like myself. So please go ahead and do that. And yeah, with that being said, I've been Scotty from a Blue Coconut family. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye for now.